So hi, it's Chris for Hit the Floor magazine, and I'm very honoured to be with Art from Everclear in Bristol at the moment. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. Even better for seeing you. So,
Yeah.
been since I was 15 years old, been waiting to see Everclear. So I'm pretty excited about tonight's show.
Awesome. It's going to be a rock show.
It's
There's
gonna
going to be a lot of bands. It's like 5 bands.
Yeah, who else is playing tonight?
I don't know. There's a couple local Bristol bands, and the band that's opening up for us on the whole tour is a band called Blame, and they're phenomenal. They've been great guys. They've let us use a lot of their gear. I mean, this tour almost didn't happen because one promoter booked it, and he was kind of not above board and offered a bunch of money, and it didn't work, and everything fell through. And finally, Ian, the guy one of the owners of the academies that books the academies, stepped in and pulled it together. So no one's really making any money, but we're here, and we had already sold tickets. The original guy put the shows on sale without confirming the shows with us.
Oh, okay, that's always good.
That's not good. But anyway, we're here. The tour's great. We just got done playing 7 shows in a row. So tonight I think you guys will get a good show because we've had a day off.
Okay, so you're all fresh and ready to go then.
Fresh as a daisy.
Well, you should be fresh because you haven't been here since 1998. Is that right?
Oh.
That's a
Yeah.
long time.
No, actually, we played London in 2000, but we haven't toured since 98.
Okay, so this is the first one in a long time then.
Long time.
What I did a bit of research because I wanted to find out what the difference would be from the Everclear tour in '98 compared to what it's going to be now. And I found an interview that you did back. It was in Livid Festival. Do you remember Livid
The
Festival?
Livid, of course.
Yeah, 1996. This was going back to. So I wanted to see how much you had changed since then, because there was a little part there where you revealed quite a lot about your thoughts on where the band was going and everything. And I want to see how it compares to what you think now.
Okay.
For a start, you said that you thought bands should only really make 5 or 6 albums and then call it a day. You're on number 8.
I still believe that. I still believe that. I think what I meant at the time, and I still stand by that, is I think bands' best records are somewhere between 1 and like maybe 5 or 6, and it starts falling apart there. The thing that was different for us, I think, is that album number 7, Welcome to the Drama Club, it's really not an Everclear record. If I had that to do over again, I would call it an Art Alexakis solo record.
Okay.
So
technically you're on 7, according to you.
Technically we're on 7.
Still 1 over.
And to be fair, no. To be fair, Songs from an American Movie Volume 2, which a lot of people like here, wasn't really a big seller. I don't love that record because I tried to do 2 albums in 1 year, so it sounds very tired to me.
Okay.
So
you could just be making excuses here to get the numbers down.
I'm not making excuses. I think most bands should give it up, but I'm different. I'm better than most.
So we're not seeing an album 9 anytime?
I wouldn't hold your breath.
Okay. You also said, you did the interview with, it was back with Greg and Craig, and you said then, you were like, oh, I'm older than them, they'll be carrying on, and I would have stopped by now. Is it now the opposite?
I don't know what Craig's doing. Craig had some drinking drug problems, so I don't think he's doing very well. I don't know. Greg is playing in like a jazz band.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is, and I said this at the time. I said, yeah, I think bands should do this, but I said, you never know what you're gonna do. It's like Mick Jagger said that he wasn't going to be 40 years old singing Satisfaction, right? Well, he's 70 and he's still singing Satisfaction, and he's doing it very well and making millions of dollars. And I'm putting 2 kids through school and, paying off debts and just living life like everybody. And this is what I do best. But I am thirsty for something else. I am hungry for something else.
You did mention then about possibly of starting a label. Is that still on the cards at all?
No, because it was a different world then. A label was a different world. I did start a label. I started a label in '98. I started a label and produced a couple of bands, put the records out. It's just the record industry is just kind of thankless now. If you can do it real cheap and put it online and just maybe put it on Spotify, then it's great. But then how do you make a living doing it? You know, it's not something that interests me. I'm kind of past that. That's where I was then.
So you did A&R for a little while, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. I mean, that's not something you thought. I mean, I know you did say that you did find some bands for the label, and then they went off to be stars with other labels.
Right.
So you obviously did a good job.
I think I did a really good job. They just wouldn't let me sign any bands.
You're contracted not to be able to say. Oh, are you allowed to say now?
Huh?
Are you allowed to say who the bands were now?
Well, one of them was Eve 6.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I try not to go back. You're really paying attention to what happened back then. I don't look back at all. I just don't.
Looking forward.
Looking now. Live now.
So you got obviously a new album. It's kind of new, released last year.
New here.
But new here.
Came out here, 5 days ago? Yeah.
Something everyone needs to go pick it up. It is classic Everclear. I mean, the single, Be Careful what you ask for. I need to make sure I did that because so many people say wish for in your interviews, and I need to make sure I got the title right.
You got it right.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to that and I was like, this is just so much for the afterglow. I just listened to it and I was like, that could slot straight in there without it.
Well, with the synthesizers, I mean, it's a little bit different, but what I really wanted to do was just turn the guitars up and write songs that were fun to play, and that had, you know, I mean, it's a different guy writing the lyrics than back then. You know, he's 15, 20 years older, so there's more of a dry sense of humor going on, you know, and it's also kind of dark sense of humor of, yeah, well, okay, what happens after you sell 1 million records? All right, be careful what you ask for, you know.
Well, you've always had that kind of the dark lyrics, but with the kind of the happy music kind of going along with it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing.
Kind of like any band I can think is like Real Big Fish are very much like that. All their songs are just like angry at the scene, but yeah, they're so happy.
I never tried to do that. It just comes out like that.
Yeah, just how you write and that kind of stuff.
Me.
There's been a 6-year gap, obviously, between the albums. I mean, obviously we just spoke about whether there would be a number 9, but if you did decide, do you think it would be sooner than later? Or?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I have no urge to go on and record a record right now.
Okay.
Just no urge.
Just ride on this one for a bit.
Until I want to. I have no idea. I mean, that was like the last record. After I did that record, I just didn't feel like writing. And one of the problems I think a lot of bands get into that I think waters down the scene in a way and waters down music is that bands get into the cycle of writing, recording, touring, writing, recording, touring, and they don't take time off to live some life and get some grist for the mill to write about. You know, live some life to write about. And that's kind of where I'm at. You know, since 2006 and this record came out, my daughter went through her whole high school years, went to college. I had another daughter. I've got a 5-year-old. I got married again. I did all sorts of stuff, wrote a movie, did all sorts of stuff. I've been very busy. So I just didn't feel the urge to write. But then about 2 or 3 years ago, I started writing some songs and called the boys after I had about 5 or 6 songs, said, let's go in and see what these sound like. So we recorded them in my basement to demo them, and it sounded like a record. So just kept writing, and there you go.
I'm glad you're back because I really like the album.
Thanks, man. I'm glad. I like it too. I think it's a really good record. I think it's one of our best. It's up there with the Sparkle and Fades and the So Much for the Afterglow, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was easily accessible. It was kind of like put it on first time and got straight into it rather than having to...
You're like, okay, yeah, I know this album. It's the album that should have probably followed, right? Yeah.
It's familiar. Obviously, you did the Summerland tour last year.
Well, that's my tour, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's been asking, is it going to... We want it to come to the UK. And
I want it to come to the UK,
and
too.
you said something about Smash Mouth in an interview once.
No. I never said that.
Can we get Smash Mouth?
No, I don't like Smash Mouth.
Okay.
No, Mark's doing Smash Mouth. Mark McGrath is doing his own tour because I didn't want to do it with Sugar Ray or Smash Mouth or Jim Blossoms. I wanted it to be rock.
Okay.
So on Summerland this year, you got Everclear, you've got Live, you've got Filter, and you got Sponge.
Okay.
So I would love to bring that over. We're taking it to Australia, so it'd be great to bring it here.
You're going to be getting the Silverchair boys involved? And it used to be...
They don't play anymore.
They don't play at all now?
I don't think they're a band. I'm sure Dan
Reform for the tour, I think.
I don't know if they do that.
Drag them back.
You know, back then they were nice little boys.
Not so much now?
I don't know. You know, I mean, it's been 15 years. They're probably middle-aged and balding and just like everybody else.
Fair enough. As I was doing some research, I found a video of this man with no arms who could play Santa Monica with his feet. And the video had like 48 views. And he was playing it on Pacific Beach in San Diego. And I was wondering, you obviously have played that song.
On a guitar?
On a guitar with his feet.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to see that.
Because I was wondering, obviously you've played that song more than anyone. Do you reckon you could play it with your feet by now?
No.
No?
No. I can't do anything with my feet.
He's
I
sung
have
it
a
great.
wife that could do a lot of stuff with her feet. She could pick things up. It's kind of creepy. I don't know. Some people find feet very sexual. I think they're I don't think they're icky like some people think they're horrible. I just don't get it. But that's nice. He doesn't have arms. He's got to do something.
Yeah.
But he plays Santa Monica and he sings it.
I need to get this link to you so you can see it. It's incredible. We'll find it on YouTube once it's finished.
I got to see that.
It had like 48 views and I was like, how has no one seen this? This is brilliant.
Is it not on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Ah, that's weird.
When you were describing your new album, you said it was like a McDonald's cheeseburger because it was something fans can rely on.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that?
Nope.
Loads of interviews are misquoting you.
I've never said anything remotely like that.
I need to find all these interviews for you as well.
Well, but I didn't say that. I would never say that. That doesn't even sound like me.
Okay, well, obviously, it's not a McDonald's cheeseburger, but if you could sum up the album as a food from any high street fast food place, what do you think it would be?
I don't know. I don't eat fast food anymore. Haven't for years. If I was going to compare it to anything, probably compare it to maybe a nice curry. A lot of different flavors there.
Is it a hot curry or again a bit more mild?
Oh, it's pretty spicy.
Like a madras or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know Madras. I go Vindaloo.
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 Very hot.
I like the Vindaloo.
Okay.
Is Vindaloo hotter than Madras?
Yeah.
Really? Man, because I got a Vindaloo the other day and it was really hot. Really hot, yeah. Okay. Let's go Madras. I'd say Madras.
Okay. I like that answer.
What we call Madras. Okay.
Madras. The last question we've got then, this is actually from a fan, and it's something you've probably been asked before, but I couldn't actually find the answer to it when I was researching, so I thought I'd ask you. Who is Susan, and what did she do to make the Afterglow suck so much?
She didn't do anything to make the Afterglow suck. I was writing a song, and there was this girl that lived next door. Her and her boyfriend were friends with me and my second wife, and that's where we lived. And she goes, well, did you write a song about me? Because every song's about me. She was that type of girl that just would go down to the market in like sweatpants and wear a tiara. She wasn't crazy, just pleasantly unique. And she was just funny. And then that's when I put that in there. This is a song about Susan. And, I just wrote the song from there. But I had wanted to write a song just about relationships. When relationships start, they just start with so much promise, and you can't imagine them ever being bad. The sex is great. Everything they do is great. They always look good. And after that 2 or 3 months, the work sets in. You have to start working at it. And it's, there was different levels to that song. People were giving us a hard time because our first major label record had been successful. So some people were saying overnight success. Of course, we had put out our own indie record and toured on it for 2 years. And I had been in bands for 10 years before that. So it wasn't an overnight success. I mean, I was 32, right, when we got signed. But regardless, I don't know. I mean, it's just after Sparkle and Fade, I just like that title so much for the Afterglow, you know? It's just kind of that dark sense of humor I got, you know?
Is there any last messages you want to send out to anyone? Anything else you want to plug or just say to the world?
I want to thank you guys for your lovely tea. I've really started enjoying tea very, very much. Because I've always been a coffee drinker. But on this tour, I'm a tea drinker. So.
We're happy to supply it. So
And I appreciate it.
Thanks for enjoying our tea.
Yeah, I don't know what Britain would do without tea. You guys would lose your minds, huh?
The thing is, I don't drink it personally.
Really?
No, I just have,
You drink tea?
I just have juice.
You like tea?
Yeah.
I love tea. What's your favorite tea?
I like fruit tea and just English breakfast.
English breakfast tea? We have some right over there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just really into the Tetley tea, just the regular black tea. It's good.
Exactly. I think we need an endorsement going on here.
Maybe.
You have a clear tea bag. I can see
Give me
it.
some money. That's fine. I got to put a kid through college.
That's what I do it.
Oxford is not cheap. Not even a little
Do it
bit.
through tea bags. That's the way forward.
There you go.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to
You're
us.
welcome.
It's been a pleasure, and it's been a long time waiting for this. So thank you very much. Cool. Brilliant. Thanks, man. It's appreciated.